my life or if life was even worth living. My biggest motivation at the time to do anything was to make my parents not nag at me. I went to UBC, then quickly dropped out. I went to continuing education to improve my grades to apply for better schools, but I didn't really try. I went to Kwantlen for business school, but I didn't finish. At the time, when I turned 19, I started drinking with my friends. And at 21, I got in an accident driving under influence, almost killing a couple, along with my friend. Not long after, I attended a program for youth with barriers to employment called Kaleidoscope. There, I learned filming along with employment skills. I also met people who are now really close friends of mine. Through Kaleidoscope, I was inspired to go to Vancouver Film School for 3D animation. I finished a year-long program, but with many bumps along the ride. It was the first time I actually wanted to do something and had committed to it for a year. It was the first time I had to be with the same group of people for hours every day for entire years, sometimes even overnight to finish projects. It was there I learned that teachers take things personally even on private school salary. Also, it was the first time I fell in love with someone and my mind went completely insane. And by the time I got my diploma, I wasn't functioning properly anymore. Or maybe I had just become aware of how improper I had always been functioning. And that's when I decided to seek help. I saw a psychiatrist around the same time I got my first job as a 3D animator. I was diagnosed with general anxiety disorder, which I thought wasn't right, but I trusted him, so I took the medication, but it didn't really help. At work, my job performance went down. I wasn't learning anything. I wasn't contributing, and my coworkers took things personally, so soon after I quit. For the next year and a half, I rented my apartment out on Airbnb, did various jobs just to support myself. I was too ashamed to tell my family I had quit my job, and along with other factors, for a year I was doing various substances. After about a year and a half, I had quit my job. I told my sister I had been laid off. She hired me at a fitness studio through a summer grant, and 2 months into the job, I had become manic. As this happened, her friend's sister had committed suicide, and my sister was afraid the same might happen to me. And she was right. With my family's help, I went to see a psychiatrist whose treatment relied more than just putting me on medication. And after a year of treatment, I thought I'd get a job so I don't just rot away at home and stare at my dad all day. I went to my employment counselor who recommended me to check out pathways. She explained to me a little bit about the Clubhouse model and the transitional employment program, which had gotten my interest. When I went on the tour and saw what the Clubhouse had to offer, I knew I didn't really need the transitional employment program, because what I really needed was just routine, a place to socialize, and not to stare at my dad. So everything the Clubhouse has to offer was good for my mental health. One of the units in the Clubhouse is the kitchen unit. Now, if you've ever been there, there's a tiny door like in the front that's almost designed to discourage people from entering. And it's loud inside so you can have open, private conversations. Or if you want to not have conversations, you can pretend like you didn't hear anything. And there's a back door that very few people uses, so like sometimes I sneak in the back. So it's a perfect place to socialize. So I was in the kitchen exclusively for like the first 3 months. I was offered a transitional employment job only after 6 weeks becoming a member. I thought it'd be a good fit. I can wake up, walk around for 2 hours a day, 4 days a week, and get some exercise in. And the time is really flexible too. It started well, but the time was too flexible. I started to procrastinate. I was started later in the day. Sometimes I even put it off and combine the shifts together. It was anything but routine for me. Shortly after a month, I told them I couldn't do it anymore. I was told the staff didn't hold anything against me. They just told me the new guy is much younger and better looking, so everything was good. I've never been to other mental health programs, so I can't really compare, but at Pathways, I don't feel like a patient. I've been given many responsibilities, the most recent being the speech. I've been working on implementing a point-of-sale system which allows members and staff to pay for lunch and snacks a lot easier. I've installed several features in the kitchen. I fixed a lot of things in the kitchen. I've nailed and screwed a lot of things onto walls. There are some turnovers in the kitchen staffing since I became a member and was in each of the interviews during the hiring processes. One of the staff who left was my transitional employment site manager. When she left, I was given the task of training her replacement for the job site. I've also been selected to represent Pathways at the upcoming Canadian Clubhouse conference in Sydney, Nova Scotia. I might excel in many things, but having these responsibilities and be accountable, sort of, makes me feel like I matter and give me a certain confidence in myself that sort of fills in some of the life lessons I missed earlier in life. There are many things that I'm still working on, and I still need to start working on. And that's why I go to Pathways whenever I can. Like, I have problems taking compliments. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel when I take compliments, or what the proper verbal responses are. So like, if you want to talk to me after, it'll be really awkward. At the moment, I have no plans for my future in terms of career or further education. When I'm not in the Clubhouse, I help my sister bounce ideas for a business and try to learn as much as possible. When I'm not procrastinating, I try to learn new things. When I am procrastinating, I try different methods to see if there's an optimal way of procrastinating based off what it is I'm procrastinating from. So far, there's nothing. Having been depressed for such a long period of time, no matter how hard I tried fitting in, I couldn't get a feeling of belonging. I couldn't get a feeling of trust. There was a lot of things that's as if my body has forgotten what it's like to feel. There are times when I get maybe like the feelings back for a week or so or something like that, and I wake up and I forget all over. I have friends who I've known for years, and I know they are my friends, but when I'm with them, I feel like they're strangers to me. It has been getting better, and I have been slowly making new connections with people at Pathways. I don't see myself as a success story or anything. I'm just a work in progress. Like everything in life, it's a continuum. You kind of just work with what you got. For me, the hardest part hadn't been the mental illness itself. It had been that at any given point when I tried to reach out for help and tell people about my problems, I seemed just normal enough that nobody took any of it seriously. You all look like normal people, and there's a lot of you, but statistics will say otherwise. So I'm not here to out anyone, but I have come too close to dying several times, and I don't want that to happen to anyone. And I just realized that my finish line is the cheesiest line ever. So just be aware and accepting for yourself and your loved ones. Thank you.